Hello, everyone. This is JD Calderon, and this is Indy Comics Explained. And yet again, I brought on another fantastic group of guests. So please hit a like, hit subscribe, share out the video, let everybody know we're here. We're bringing on fantastic independent comic artists and writers every week, or at least most every week. I like to take a couple weeks, some weekends off. You know how it is. Anyway, without further, one last thing, please go check out Tall Tales Volume 2, Thieves Quest, currently on Kickstarter. So yes, go check that out. The link is below. Without further ado, let me bring on today's co-host, Mr. Joe D. McFee.
Hello, everyone. Should I introduce myself now?
Yes, sir.
I am Joe D. McFee. You probably know me from my show From the Desk of a Small Press Publisher. I'm also the president of CCC Studios, creator of Amazonia, AWF, and Primetime Saturday Night. And currently I'm working on my very first RPG with Nicholas Tucker called the Primetime Saturday Night, the role-playing game, which should be out here shortly.
All right, cool. And then we have our co-host. Oh, you're muted, buddy. You're muted. Yeah, let that go. You're still muted.
See, look, I got to be on my game today. I'm the Coco.
Yeah,
I got to be on my
exactly. So you fill in Rosario's post very well.
Let me get here. I'll be right back. Hold on. I am Damion Waldbrunn. I am creator of Homer X. I am Day One Comics. I also created O Toys, and we do custom action figures for independent comic creators. We've done quite a few. I've consolidated everything to my website, so go to ruomniversal.com, and you can check out everything. You can get in hold of me, and we can talk about toys, comics, or whatever you like.
All right, cool. All right, now it's our first guest. Here we go. Mr. Ozzy, what's up?
Ozzy Longoria from Mexico, owner of Gemini Comics. We are promoting our campaign for the Sword and the Sorcerer. I guess that's what we're going to talk about. Yeah.
That's what we're going to talk about. That's right, sir. All right. Our next guest, Mr. Eric.
What's up, JD? Thanks for having me. And hi, everyone. Nice meeting you. My name is Eric VT, Eric Von Tersch. I am currently having a crowdfund on Indiegogo called AMAZINGIZE Comics #1, featuring 4 new universes coming your way.
Cool. Nice. All right. So let's start it up. I said from the very beginning, this show is about you two guys. We were originally going to have another guest. His name's Carlos Raphael. He couldn't make it tonight. His wife's ill. Carlos, all the love in the world. Please, you get your wife better, and we'll have you on another night. So gentlemen, we'll just start in order. We'll just start with Eric. Eric, so tell me a little bit about your campaign and what got you into campaign? Like, why did you decide to go this route as opposed to another route, like going with Scout or one of these other companies?
Well, I've been creating characters and universes in my head and on paper and for decades now, and I've always been close to being able to publish, get something out, but something's always stood in the way. And usually, back in the day, it was like you had to submit to all these publishers, and crowdfunding is obviously a great way to go now. And I had this campaign ready to kind of pretty much go before COVID hit, and then COVID hit, and there was a lot of changes happened, and it became more difficult. So I had to wait till now to do it. And I just think the crowdfund is the best option. It gets the stories out, and when I first came up with this idea, I was just like, I got to get my ideas out there, man. I don't care if it goes to 10 people or 20 people or 100 or 1,000. I just want to get some of my stories and ideas out in people's hands so they can read them and experience them. And that's my main goal, is just to get some of the stuff out.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Ozzy, the same question, man. Why are you guys doing that instead of like I said, going for some of these other things?
Well, it's because we finished the last my Doomsday TV campaign with Kickstarter.
Right.
So I didn't want to do 2 in a row.
Mhm.
But eventually we're gonna do both. As soon as we
Okay.
finish this one, we're gonna start the next one on Kickstarter,
Mhm.
and I'm gonna start the new campaign for my new project on Indiegogo.
Right.
So we're just basically going one on Kickstarter, one on the Indiegogo, and
Okay.
just like that. It has nothing to do with because it's better or not. It's just we're just doing it one of
Okay.
each.
Gotcha.
And I haven't seen the other ones that you mentioned actually. I mean, I know the GoFundMe or any other, but I really don't know the other ones. I never use them.
Well, at the moment there's just Kickstarter, Indiegogo. There's another one they call Zoop, but I
Zoop?
think that's a new one. That's I think invitation only.
Oh,
Yeah, I think that was by invitation only at the moment. I'm pretty sure they'll open it up at some
I haven't
point.
been invited, so.
Yeah, I haven't been invited either. So, who are we? We're just
what are the
independent publishers.
requirements?
Huh?
What are the requirements to be invited?
By what I've seen, you have to have been at the big two. So you got to be like, I mean, they had like Chris Lytle, I think was one of the artists on one of the books they had up there. But I mean, they're bringing in some numbers, but I don't think the numbers are really big, So who knows? Who knows?
I'm guessing
It's
no one's here got a invitation from Substack in advance. Six-figure advance from Substack here.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest with you though. If the offer was less than 7 figures, I'd have to turn it down. So just to let you know, standards are high.
That's right.
Yeah, I'm looking to hire Arthur Adams on a month, for a monthly book. So there has to be 7 figures because God, that fee is crazy.
Yeah, even so, I don't think you can make it with Arthur Adams or with Jim Lee. I don't think you make it.
It's funny. I mean, it would have to be Arthur Adams. I couldn't pick Jim Lee's nice, but not for what I want.
Okay, that's true. It's a little more cartoony.
Yeah. There's a reason. It's like if I was doing a superhero thing, then maybe, but for the Oswald Chronicles, no, not so much. I would want art. But yeah, that's just me being silly. Mr. Joe, it's your turn, bro.
Oh, to ask the question or answer the original question? Because
go ahead, answer the question if you want.
Okay, because the original question, I believe in having multiple lines of revenue. So, crowdfunding is just one of many that you could go through here. That's after having 3 successful campaigns, having 4 that failed. So I understand that getting a lot more than most other people and understand what to ask for, what not to ask for, and how to really put one together and be kind of successful with it in the long run. As far as my numbers, I haven't gotten like the overly big numbers for crowdfunding as a whole here. Most of my bread and butter comes from shows and pretty much Comixology and my own website when I have those sales and do my own online streams and whatnot and really push the envelope on that aspect. But crowdfunding is a good way to go, especially if you're brand new and you're trying to build your audience here.
All right,
Agreed.
Hold on, let me just put this up to Hail JD. Hail Dory, what's up?
Yes.
And then Golden Cheese Heat, what's up, Ozzy?
Hey, that's my partner too.
There you go. All right, cool. Damion, what do you think of that question?
I have to agree with Joe D. It just, I mean, why am I not at Scout or somewhere else? They haven't asked me yet. But when they ask me, I'll go.
Gotcha.
Actually, it kind of refers to a question I had was, I always like to find out why comics, like why, not to jump the gun on with questions, but there's so many. I love comics. I do it for the love. I mean, that's why comics for me. But some people I know do it for this is what they think is the best way to tell their story. Some people are just trying to make put a bunch of IP together to start shopping out to movie houses. So, I mean, why'd you guys go with comics to tell your stories?
Well, for me, I think in like comic book format, man. Like I try writing like novels or screenplays or whatever, but it's like writing for a comic book is totally different, as you all know, and you know, getting the turn pages right and that sort of thing, man. I tend to write and love comic books so much. I just think of my writing that way. I'm thinking of what the turn page will look like. What do I want to show before that big hit, that big reveal on the turn page and whatnot. And I've always thought of writing in comic book format, so it's just like it's ingrained in me. Even though I've never put anything out yet, I've written hundreds of comics and thousands of stories, all built up. So yeah, I mean that's the love of the comics is the main thing. That's how I learned how to read. Grew up with Hulk, Spider-Man, mostly Marvel, and that's how I got my kids to read. So it's just the love of the game right there, man. I mean, and yeah, I have a hard time writing like novel format or screenplay, and it's just like, but comic books, it just comes easy to me, natural. So that's it's the love of the game right there.
Yeah,
it's a good question, Ozzy.
I agree with Eric. I mean, it's the love of comics, and also I really believe that everybody is storytelling, like humans. So but we have the opportunity to tell the stories. Because most of my clients are people or writers who try for the first time, or they've done comic books, but they want to tell the stories, and I take advantage of that. I get into that market, so they hire me and I help them. I have my own storytelling, my own way to tell the story. So we mix both and we come with a product.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's it's just basically the love of to comic books and tell the story. It doesn't matter what, like you said, in and I used to write screenplays too. So, but it boils down to just telling the story.
All right, cool. Joe, you go, and then I'll answer last.
Well, to kind of answer that question, I have to think about the movie Officer and the Gentleman. I had nowhere else to go but to be quite honest here, because I wasn't enthused with prose writing at all. And I've been creating comics since high school, off and on my own little bit things here and there. And then after losing all that, blood and whatnot, and going through the military and coming back and having other friends who were into anime bring me back into the fold, it was just the right thing to do at that time. Do comics more so than anything else. It's not the fact that I haven't published prose writing. I have published other people's novels and stuff before. I would say somewhat successfully because, quote unquote, they did not want to be edited. But that's another story altogether. But that's the real reason why I did comics, because it's really more along the lines. It's like I had stories that been built up and already scripted out and everything, and it was a matter of either A, finding the right artist, or B, sitting down myself and learning to craft myself to put it out there the way that it needs to be put out there. And fortunately for me, it was option B. I had to learn.
All right, cool. For myself, I've done prose, but I started off in comics. I learned how to read through comics basically, and then that got me into prose. Very early on, I started reading prose when I was like 10, 11, whatever. But for me, it's always been that love of comics, and not just comics like Marvel and DC, but it's been indie comics. Because I remember as a kid loving Frank Miller and Walter Simonson and all those guys, and then running across Jack Kirby's Captain Victory, which is the first indie comic I ever ran across, and just being like, wow, it doesn't have to be just this. Because at the time, it was just that. It was just Marvel or DC. You either had Superman or Spider-Man or Batman or the Hulk or whatever. You understand? That's all it was. And then I saw this unique thing. Then I saw more. Eventually I got to see the Elementals. I got to see Grendel. I got to see all these different things. Usagi Yojimbo, Dynamo Joe, Captain Paragon, all these crazy comics started coming out, during that period, and it was just fantastic to see, and I was like, I could do this,
Yeah.
I ran across an article with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and I was like, if those guys can do it, I can do it, and I got hooked. I got hooked on the idea of just doing comics. First published 92, and then just kept doing it, So I'm, I'm one of those. I'm a lifer, I'm here forever till I drop, All right, Joe, it's all you now. Seeing as Damion jumped you.
Sorry.
No.
Good question.
I felt like they dovetailed. I had to go.
Because again, with two new people in the crowdfunding game, I'm on a mission to answer one particular question and one particular question only.
Mm-hmm.
It's fair to ask them and to ask everybody the same question each and every time that we talk about crowdfunding.
Mm-hmm.
One of the major things about crowdfunding is it really depends upon your audience. However, the key thing here is to try to reach as many people as possible. How do you intend to reach out to people who are cold to your product? When I mean cold to your product, has no idea who you are, has no idea what your story is about, and pretty much, having an advertisement that's either, 20 to 30 seconds on like a video may not, how do you want, may not sell them. How are you planning to really truly reach them?
Wow, that's the $1 million question. Well,
You tell us, Joe.
The best we
I would be a billionaire. That's the reason why when I get around other creators like myself, I ask them, it's like, what are you doing that I'm not doing, and vice versa?
Well, definitely you have to hustle, because I've been sending the link to every single people that I know, emails, sharing it in every single forum, every single group that Facebook has, any networks, social networks like Instagram, what's called the Pinterest.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you name it, every single one. I just put the image if they allowed it, but obviously there's the algorithm that stops you, so that's why we don't reach that many people.
Mm-hmm.
And what else? With my campaign, the Source and the Sorcerer, we can also expand to send it to movie-related groups, which helps a lot too. And I guess that's it. Just talking to people and word to mouth too. I mean, whatever we can, whatever way.
Let me answer the question, but first let me ask a quick question. Has anyone used? Someone recently told me to try TikTok for promoting. Has anyone tried that?
No,
not just yet. No, I haven't gone tried TikTok as of yet. I'm still a YouTuber myself.
Gotcha.
I've dabbled in it.
Yeah.
Danny J. Quick though has become a TikTok master. So
Who's
he's
that?
definitely Danny J. Quick.
Okay.
Does Ace Blade. He's become a TikTok master as far as marketing. So he's definitely somebody to hit up.
Wow. Okay.
But he does something besides the promoting
Oh yeah, he does videos like regular TikTok videos where he's doing things with his kids and he's being funny or doing.
That's where I fail because
whenever I'm on
it.
YouTube. No, I'm sorry. Go ahead, finish, Ozzy. I'm sorry.
See, that's where I fail because I can promote my campaign, but I'm not that funny to do videos or I don't have anything else to say in TikTok besides sell my books.
Well, that's the thing with TikTok. You don't have to. Nobody really does. It's like, what's the trend? What's hitting? What music is, the hottest music, you pop it on there. And you can go into your analytics if you do a business account and see what hits. And then you can just go through there and kind of, I don't know how he does it specifically, but if it's not promoting videos, it's regular TikTok stuff. And he just seems to really get a lot of as they say, money, but a lot of currency out of it.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't even have a TikTok, and so yeah, I was just curious about that because it was just recommended to me like yesterday, in fact. And for social media, I gotta get much better at like Instagram, especially, and Twitter. I haven't had much success, but my whole thing is I've been selling comic books on Facebook Live primarily for the last like 4 or 5 4. What's that? Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I heard someone. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, I've been selling comic books on Facebook Live for the last 4 or 5 years. So I thought some of that audience would translate pretty well. And that was going to be like my kind of like number one crossover audience, I thought. And then from there, it gets very difficult. I will say that the mailing list was the pre-launch page. That
Mhm.
definitely helped. I think the mailing list, the pre-launch page, is definitely one of the keys for crowdfunding. But as far as promotion beyond, my people in the comic book groups, selling, who I sold to, and the mailing list, it's been really tough. It's I had a first few good days,
Mhm.
but last several days have been really, bone dry pretty much. So
Yeah.
I'm looking at other avenues. Yeah, so it's when no one knows you, and even if they do know you, it's not always an easy sell. It's they like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, or they like Spider-Man, they like the Joker or Batman or whatever. But like getting them into your own book is a whole nother story sometimes. So yeah, it's a learning process.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. And speaking of learning, I just bought a book about how to promote yourself on the internet. It talks about all those tricks that you have to do to avoid the algorithm.
Yes.
So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I post something in my AMAZINGIZE group page, and I see it gets like 15 views only, and I have, I think, 500 people in the group. So it's like, what's happening there? Oh, we have a
Dor-
comment here. Yeah.
Yeah, I mostly use it for some of its easy breezy video editing features. Then take the video and use it elsewhere. Okay, there you go. That's what you use TikTok for.
Yeah, you know what, Dory? Someone who, like, I went to a street fair and someone was selling something, but they had a great promotion card and stuff. So I was talking to them, and she said there's something in TikTok where you can record it and then use it elsewhere, and it's like a perfect way to do a recording with all the extra tidbits or whatever. Is that what you're talking about, Dory?
I think I think so. That should what she's talking about.
Yeah, she says video editing features. So yeah.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
heard about that.
Okay.
So I gotta get on the TikTok. Unfortunately, it looks like.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I mean, listen. I mean, I'm not necessarily on TikTok, and I don't even have a TikTok account. But I go
Yeah.
on YouTube all the time, right? They have the random videos in there,
Yep.
Yeah.
right? And then you click on it, and it's some girl doing some crazy things, some music. She's jumping up and down. And I'm like, okay, okay, she's cute, all right, but I don't know what's going on. So just move on. But
My next campaign is gonna be interesting because it's about sexy pinups
Mhm.
from girls from the Instagram, and
Oh,
they're
okay.
gonna promote the book. I'm not gonna.
Oh.
I'm not gonna be able to. I mean, I'm not gonna do anything. I mean, I'm gonna do my part, but they're gonna be promoting it. And these girls, they have 1 million followers.
Oh, there you
So
go.
they have TikToks and.
So Ozzy's going to be a millionaire in after his next campaign, guys. So
Yeah, I think so.
This is the thing. I'm gonna share it. Everybody's gonna share. Is gonna get a cut.
Yeah.
Oh no, of course, yeah, we expect. So
Obviously.
you'll get a nice chunk out of $1 million by the looks of it.
I hope
So
so.
Dory says, "Yep," but the music part might get hung up, and then so I mute music if I use and add my own or use Vimeo to add royalty free. Okay, there you go. And then it says YouTube has most of the same features.
That's what I kind of figured.
Yeah. All right, nice. All right, cool. So, I guess I'm back up to. Oh no, I didn't answer the question, did I?
Right? No, you didn't, but you don't have to because you already answered it once before in many videos way back when.
All right. Wait, what was the question? What was the question again? Why use one over the other, or what was it again?
No, how do you really get to the cold audience in your campaign?
Right. Yeah, I have answered that question many times, and I'll answer it again. The best thing, it's like Eric said, it says the mailing list, I think, is important. You need to develop that mailing list. You also need to constantly engage. Like you got the mailing list, you're supposed to, get on there. But also, even when you're not doing a campaign, that's one of the reasons why I do this show. Even though I am doing a campaign, it's like I'm always doing a campaign. But even when you're not doing a campaign, you should try to get on some of these shows just so people get to know you, just so they know that it's not like the dude only shows up when he's doing a campaign. Sometimes I feel that way when I go on Indie Vault. There's this I like end the campaign and I'll disappear for a week, and then maybe I'll pop up or pop out, and I don't want them to think like I'm just showing up because I got a campaign running. I want to know, I like the guys. Varian's my buddy. Randy's my buddy. The only reason they're not here tonight is because they had a convention.
Last day of Grand Rapids.
Gee, thanks.
Grand Rapids? Yeah. What happened?
I said, gee, thanks. No, I'm just
Oh, no. Listen, Rosario is his sister's birthday. So, we had to, Rosario to your sister.
I'm glad to be here.
Yes, there you go.
Hey, let me ask you guys a quick question regarding the email list and whatnot. How often do you send out like promotions through your email list throughout your campaign?
Here's what we do. Yeah, that's a good question, because it's my list and my wife, Daphne Lade. She's the artist on Tall Tales, so we work together as a team. So we'll do one typically the night before it launches, right? Then we'll do one the week of, and then we'll probably do one every week until that last week, where we might do 2 or 3.
Okay.
Don't you think that's just too much?
No.
Like, no.
Too much is every day. I've gotten those.
Well,
too much is like every, you hit every plateau and you're like, I got people like just, sending me like stuff, and I'm like, just shut up.
Yeah.
I pay for your book, just shut up. I don't want to hear from you.
I support a lot of artists, like independent artists, and I always sign to their newsletters.
Mm-hmm.
But some people, they abuse that, and I block them immediately. So unsubscribe because they
right
constant and too much. It's way too much. I mean, I think
now what do you consider abuse?
Yeah, that's my next.
That's the question. What do you consider abuse?
Twice a week, maybe once a week is a little too much for me. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Okay. It could, it just could be.
I get many. So
I think it's a personal thing, and if you're subscribing to dozens and dozens or more of these lists, it can be a bit too much. But I think once a week is minimal. If I'm running a campaign, I'm going to use that at least once a week, probably.
Right.
And I want to put this on your guys' mind as well, because what you just described may not be the mailing list per se. It could be a combination of the mailing list plus the platform that you're using, because when you really think about it, you're only mailing out to your mailing list once a week. But if you're updating that campaign every day, you're getting emails from Indiegogo or Kickstarter every day about that thing. So when you get that personalized mailing list thing, you're just like, oh, that's overkill.
Right.
So you got to be careful and balance that thing out in the long run, because even though you're doing your personal mailing list once a week, and that's just really acceptable, but if you're updating that campaign every day, you're pretty much overkilling the updates on the campaign site, which kind of gets filtered into that one email that you send out on your mailing list.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, we lost.
He's gone.
We lost it. Yeah, we lost it. So we're going to continue on here.
So about that mailing list, one of those things that I regret the most, because I used to go to so many conventions a year, like
So sorry about that,
Also-
guys. I kicked
no
myself out of my own show.
so I used to go to many conventions, like probably 15 to 20 conventions a year,
Mhm.
and big ones and all. And one of the things that I regret is not to put a list, like a signing uh, list, like a just to send a newsletter. And now I'm regretting it because I don't have any. I mean, I do have followers. If I go to a convention, I do get the usual suspects.
Mhm.
But that's one of the things that I hit myself in the head because I need that right now.
Yeah, because that's the thing, that direct line of marketing to those to your direct fans, that's really important. Because think about it, 100 fans. If you got 100 fans that will always back your campaign, you're looking at maybe a $4,000 to $5,000 campaign every time. Every time. If you get 200, you can easily double that number, so on and so forth. You understand? For every 100, you're looking at $4,000 to $5,000. Easy. It all depends on the levels. Some people are going to spend more on some campaigns, some people are going to spend less, so on and so forth. You're going to pick up whales on occasion. You'll have those individuals that are going to drop $200, $300, $400 on a campaign, because they just got it like that. God bless them. I love them. Love you guys. But that list, man, is important, because if you could pick up those people, and you got to remember, I got a friend, Rosario, JD. He has a mailing list of 5,000 people, and he's picking up 1 or 2% from that list. So you're talking about 100, 200 people somewhere in that area.
And
So
he's got a nice presence on conventions too. Like I've seen his booth.
yeah. So that dude, he goes out there, he kills it. But even so, even with such a big list, that doesn't always mean you're gonna have like a huge success. So you got to build that list and keep working on that list. And sometimes you got to go in and prune that list. That's what some people don't talk about. Sometimes you got to go in and like take out all the people who don't open emails. It'll show you on a MailChimp. It'll show you. It says for the last 6 months, you said X amount of emails. These people open. These people sometimes open. These people never open. So you might want to just kill all those people off. Get rid of them. They're just dead weight on your list. You might have 3,000 of those guys. You're like, get rid of them. Because they're not doing anything for you. And I mean, they either have you going straight to their spam folder, or they don't love you no more, and it just happens like that.
Right.
Hold on.
I think you probably notice that too when you do that. I mean, if they're mainly, maybe if they're looking at their email but they're not actually like opening that particular one, I think if they stop getting them, they'll notice that too. That kind of revive that.
Why is my Twitter not working?
So Dory says Ozzy's Twitter on his Indiegogo doesn't work for your information. Ozzy, your Twitter's not working.
I don't know what happened.
You gotta be in front of people that are on social media.
That's it.
I agree to a certain extent on that.
There you go. That's my Twitter account.
Yeah. Oh, okay, there you go. All right.
Send it to.
All right. Send it to Dory.
I'm gonna update all the information. I don't know why it's not working, because it's there.
There you go.
I'm that girl. I'm following, sharing, etc.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
That's it. And that's the other thing. You got to try to hook up with people on Twitter who are going to share your stuff. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to go in there and just constantly share. I'm barely on Twitter, but I'm on there like a speed demon, sharing and liking. Like a speed demon. I'm on there for 5 minutes. Boom, boom, boom. I'll share 20 people real quick and I'm out. Because I'm not going to get into any fights with any people who just got weird stuff to say. It's just like, it's just, I don't like your book because it has a mouse and, and it doesn't conform to something. And I'm like, okay, because I don't like rats. All right, fine. All right, good. Yeah. Okay. God bless you. I'm going back to Facebook. Thanks. So, yeah. All right. So, I think I was up next for the next question, right? All right. All right, cool. Here we go. So, man, here's crazy thing. We're in 2021. 8 months in. Who the hell would have thought, right? Going, year just flying by. So, what are you guys looking to accomplish in the next 4 months? And we'll start with Eric.
All right. Well, my campaign ends Labor Day weekend, after Labor Day weekend. So I'm hoping to send the books out and get them out hopefully no later than October. And then I have a plan to start a little past 4 months. I want to fulfill this, make people happy. Whoever gets it, very happy, so they become repeat customers. And then a little after 4 months, start of the new year, I plan on doing another campaign for this one's kind of an anthology. I have 4 stories in one book, but the next project I have is called Moonchild, and that is one full story. It's actually owned by a gentleman on the East Coast, but I've written 2 books for him, and he's got all the artwork done, and he's willing to put it under my umbrella of AMAZINGIZE Comics. And I think we're going to try to aim for a 1/1/2022 launch date. So, but first step is to fulfill this campaign, hit our initial goal, and then fulfill it the best way we possibly can. And then keep building the audience. Keep getting the trust and that whole thing. So I want to make people happy with this. Go to the next one, which is already the artworks. At least the pencils and inks are already done, and that should be. I think that's the plan for the immediate future.
All right, cool. Yeah, Mr. Ozzy, obviously you spoiled your own thing, but spoil it some more. Go ahead.
No.
Boobs.
Well, my plan. Well, I guess I'm gonna do another campaign with the same book. Time for Kickstarter, and I think it's gonna be finished by the time I finish the campaigns. It's gonna be already pencil inked and probably colored, but you never know. 4 months, 4 months is doable, but we're not gonna last that long, so I don't know. That's 1 more month. No, that's 2 weeks for this campaign, and then another month and a half probably on Kickstarter, and then we're gonna send it to Doomsday TV is gonna be also released. We're waiting for the printers to send us the books. And we're gonna put them on the stores too.
Right.
That's my other one, the other project that I have. And we're also having. I just have so many projects coming. The Peanut book, the ETA, the Samurai Story.
Nice.
And that's also gonna be a Kickstarter or Indiegogo. I'm not sure which one. And hopefully in 4 months they'll all be out. I don't think it's gonna be on my account. It's gonna be on my partner's account.
Okay.
So
cool.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Hold on, let me put this up real quick. And yes, he is reciprocal promoting among creators is key, and that's going back to Twitter, where you're just constantly sharing each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Twitter is all about that scroll. You get like thousands of people on that thing, and it's just moving and moving and moving. If you don't push each other, your stuff is just gonna fly by and disappear. Just go down that rabbit hole and never see it again. So, anyway, Joe.
Yes.
What's up? What's up for the remainder of your year?
Outside of the role-playing game, we got Amazonia #7, which is being colored right now. Hopefully that gets done by the end of September for us to crowdfund sometime in October or November. Primetime Saturday Night #4 is coming up soon, so that might actually beat Amazonia #7. To be quite honest, I don't know, but those are the top 3 things that's on my list as of right now.
All right, cool. Mr. Damion, what do you got coming up?
Got a couple conventions I've actually got 4 books out right now. I've got the Omnibus. I've got Omniversal, which is stories by other people with my art. I've got the Realmer X book, which cleaned up and sort of doing a reissue of the first issue. And then 2 will be coming out in January.
Nice.
I'm going to try to do a Make 100 with that. So beyond that, I've got 2 books I'm working on, 4 books I'm promoting, and going to try to build up my fan base a little bit with my website and things like that. ruomniversal.com.
Cool. Now, how are things working out? Because you have a toy line.
That too. Right now, I just finished one for Ted Davies for his Retrieved book. I have
You don't have a prototype you can show us, do you?
I do somewhere. Oh, here it is. Now it's the only one I have.
Nice.
Hold
on, let me bring that up. Hold that up.
Wow, now I am impressed.
Nice.
Did an interview with him. Sorry to hype another show. I apologize. But I did an interview with him the other day talking about this a little more.
That's really nice.
I've did the Nebulizer with Brian Rodman. I did Luke Stone's Trash Man, and I did Kenny Aiken's Apex. So all 3 of those most recent campaigns had action figures, and I made them literally right here in this space behind me. I'm printing my Realmer X for the convention. So
Nice.
I've got a couple. I just had an Indiegogo that funded, so I've got a couple figures that need to go out for that. But mostly I'm focusing on having them at the table. So I get to have my books with my action figures, with stickers and stuff. So I'm excited.
That's pretty nice.
That's very cool.
That should attract a lot of people to your campaigns.
It's seemed to work really well. Like, people like them, and like, my whole thing is I want people to be happy. Like, I want the creator to be happy, and I want to come at it from a fan perspective as well, so that everyone gets what they want out of it.
Right.
So it's been nice. It's also on my website. If you go there, you can check out if any of you gentlemen would like to go there. Me and JD have talked about some stuff before, but I've got on that site, I've got a form you can fill out, send it to me, tell me what you're looking at or what you're thinking, and we can talk. And I keep things cost effective, so I try to work within your budget rather than.
Yeah, that's the one thing. Like, I noticed, like Kenny and Brian, like, they're limited to like 10, 15, or 10 or 5 figures. You know what I mean? They're put at a higher price point. And the one thing I really like is that Damion has a thing where the figure is in a clamshell, so that it opens up and you can take the figure out without destroying the shell. So you can put it back in and seal it and do what I do is I like to hang them on the wall in the shell and everything. I just do that. So I think it's actually really cool. And then also the creator can open it up. They have the little card, and you can sign the card, I would imagine. And you can do a limited edition thing and just boom, put it on your wall. And then the fan has like something that's really exclusive, because he's only, you're printing them in your house. I mean, it's not like you're gonna make 1,000 of them.
Yeah, I mean, I'm making 20, 30 at a pop,
right,
for the orders. And two things I felt like I had to have was collectible packaging. Like, I want to get it out. I want to look at it. I want to, move the arms and legs and see how it works. But they also all stand on their own. I'll stand it there. So you can take it out of the packaging, set it on your shelf next to it, basically put it however you want without ruining anything in the process.
Nice.
Sorry to.
We're going to try to do something similar for the Sword and the Sorcerer. Obviously not for this campaign, but there's 6 more numbers, so we're going to try to do statues. We're going to try to do a replica of the swords, and we're going to try to do a replica of the actual sword, like in real, like what's it called? In like big size, like a real replica. So it takes money and it takes time. We'll see how it goes.
You should hit me up. I mean, I'm not trying to just like get your business.
He's trying to get your business, but it's okay.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I am, but at the same time, I'm willing to share what I've learned. So if it's something that you want to look, I can direct you where to avoid the pitfalls I fell into very hard on a couple of occasions. So
Yeah.
Hey, Damion. I got a space station that I might be interested in doing. One space station called Yield Wineport in one of my stories. What do you think about? I mean, that wouldn't necessarily have much articulation, but would that be possible? You think?
Yeah, we could take a look at it.
Awesome. Yeah.
Hit me up after the show. I mean, or if you're not free then later on this week, I'm free. I'm free till Friday, and then I'm doing the con this weekend.
Cool.
Yeah. So Dory says, "Gotta run, Jess. Keep me posted with anything." And I
Bye,
share.
Dory.
All right.
Take care, Dory.
Take it easy.
Take care.
So, for myself, I got my Kickstarter running, and I'm gonna have another Oswald Kickstarter down the road. So I'm always doing one. So there will be more. There will be more, as I always like to say. There will be more. Damion, all right, Joe, you're up, brother.
I'm up again. Shoot, made me lose my track of thought here. I actually had another question since we were dealing with crowdfunding campaigns and everything to that magnitude here. Let's talk about fulfillment. Have you thought about anything new and different that you could do that somebody else have not done when it comes to fulfillment? Meaning, some people would do like free shipping as opposed to charging for shipping. Have you thought about adding in like a surprise thing to your package that nobody knows about until you bring it upon the one that last update, stuff to that magnitude?
Yeah. My first campaign was free shipping, every single one. But the thing is that I at right now at this point I'm not trying to make money. We're trying to get like Eric said, like we're trying to get them happy first, become our fans or become a customers, happy customers. So we were just trying to give them something. And if you see my campaign, the prices, it's just like everything's so cheap. It's like I've seen campaigns that they charge I don't know, $6 for a PDF. We're charging half. We're charging we have many options, like a $5 comic, like a copy of the book, and then we have the ones the Beasley cover is $8, which is really not that much. I mean, it's there, but really not that much. It's a collector. Pretty much, we have the 3 covers for $20. So who does that? It's really very cheap, and we're really not charging that much shipping in neither. So,
well, as far as shipping is concerned, like I've shipped thousands and thousands of books since I sell on Facebook Live and stuff, and I've pretty much always charged for shipping. And if you have true fans, they usually don't mind paying for the shipping, especially if you do it well. If I do have to ask you, Ozzy, you own Gemini Comics. I have to ask you, do you use Gemini Mailers?
I do.
That's good. That's good. Yeah, even on my there you go. Yeah. Even on my crowdfund page, I do have I do show a Gemini mailer with my comic in it. So, like I said, the shipping quality is key, especially if you charge for the shipping. And as far as adding anything in or any type of new idea for fulfillment, yeah, I mean, I always like adding little things, or whether it might be a print or a bookmark or whatever it might be. But I don't have any like huge groundbreaking ideas for fulfillment. I couldn't really come up with anything crazy for that. But I think what people want is the quality. They want their books nice and tidy. I did think about having an option. Here's one idea I did think of. having an add-on for my next campaign using my lights and full backs. So, and it might be an extra $1 or $2, and that way, not only do they get the book, but sometimes I've supported crowdfunds, and sometimes the books come. You might get 3 books and 1 bag and board, and sometimes it's not always the best quality that I've gotten at least. So when they get that book, not only do they get it, but it looks sweet and clean and nice and shiny, and boom, it's like it's immaculate. So I was thinking about adding that option on as an add-on cost to the customer. What do you guys think about that?
Now you were talking about putting it on a Mylar?
A Mylight. So it's like a Mylar. It's the highest quality, basically, of a bag and board type thing. So it's a Mylight,
Gotcha.
which is basically it will. You don't have to replace it for like 30, 40 years, technically.
Right.
The full back is totally acid free. It's better than any normal bag and board, basically. And the Mylight is like a Mylar, kind of.
Gotcha. I mean, it sounds good because I bag and board all my books. Like every book. Yeah.
Isn't that pricey?
Yeah, it can be a little bit pricey. It's probably about, but if you, like I said, if you have that customer and they want the nice,
right?
The niceness of it and the quality, and to get and have it just look. I mean, not only is your book going to look good normally, but like it looks clean, it looks shiny, and that Mylight just sparks it. It just. I think it'd probably be about depending what you get them at, probably about $1 a piece. So for extra $2 maybe, add it on to the customer, or even $1 just to pay for your cost or whatever. I think it's a nice little option for the customer, at least for your main book. I mean, the others could be in bags and boards or your special variant cover or whatever. So that's the idea I had for an add-on anyway.
I like it. I think that's good. And I think maybe, charging them whatever it costs you, to put it on there.
Yeah. I mean,
makes plenty. I mean, $1.50, whatever it is, it seems fine. It doesn't seem like too over the top.
Yeah, it sounds very reasonable. I mean, as far as to get back to the original question, do I have anything special? Right? Like I do a couple of things. I always have Sticker Mule. Always has some kind of weird sale on. I don't know if you guys know what it is. It's just a website, and then every week they have like a different sale. Get 50 stickers for $20 or whatever. And I always do all these different images, and and I'm always, and I'll pop one in.
That's how I got this one.
There you go. Exactly. And you just, you pop in the various ones. I did coasters. I've done all kinds of stuff, and I've just, drop them in. I did for my last Oswald campaign, I had a little packet of like 4 different things. I had a coaster, 2 stickers, and a little pin. And for the first 40 people that backed, each of them got those things. So, sometimes I'll do stuff like that. Sometimes I'll grab 4 or 5 books, like virgin covers, maybe 1 or 2. 'Cause for some reason, my printer, they'll print an extra one. So I'll order 10, they'll send me an 11. And then my accounting is off, so I'll be like, why do I have an extra book of this? Like, I'll try to have them in sets, and I'm like, I got an extra book of this, an extra book of this, an extra book of this. So what I do is I drop those into, like, just randomly, just drop them into a package. I'll be like, I'll write a little note. Is there something special for you? I'll stick it on there, boom. And I'll drop it in there, as something special, for them. And it's usually like a virgin cover or a foil cover or something like that. So I'll do that sort of thing. It doesn't go to everybody. But I try to I try to mix it out because I do have my regulars, and I try to get them in there and and do that sort of thing for them. So just do something special.
Yeah, I'll try to do the same thing. In fact, that's why you're I'm not technically late yet, but that's why your shipment wasn't sent out last week when I got those books, because I was getting a bunch of goodies for the con. I wanted to make sure I put them in there.
All right, cool. Thank you. I appreciate that, Mr. Joe.
Wait, I asked that question.
Oh, you asked that question. Well, did you answer it though?
To be quite honest, I really wouldn't know how to answer that question, because the best thing that I normally do is just surprise my people who back me. Quite honest, because sometimes I come across things that just be like happenstance. Like I might overprint certain amount of prints that I
Right,
never
right.
mentioned on the campaign. I automatically just throw that up in there, or I might throw in the next new run of stickers up in there, just at a happenstance, not even mentioning it to anybody. So when they get it, it's like an honest surprise to them.
Right.
I do that too. I give him so much, so
Mhm.
trying to keep him happy and come back, so they come back again.
Hold on, let me put this up. From Golden Tree, can't you factor in shipping into the reward tiers and not charge directly? Yes, you can.
Yes.
It looks nice.
Uh,
That
that's normal.
no shipping, but obviously you have to add a little bit onto the reward, so you don't lose.
Yeah, definitely. Damian, do you add anything extra on your account? Well, you just said you were. But...
Yeah, I try. I'm a sucker at a con. You can come to my table and you'll probably get something free. Try not to give the high ticket items away. I knew I was going to buy a bunch of extra stuff. Like Sticker Mule has been my friend, so I wanted to make sure that I put a lot of that love into those things I was sending out too. So yeah, I'm right on the same page.
All right, cool. All right, well, Damian, you're up, brother.
Do we want a fun question or do we want a thoughtful question?
Always fun.
Fun.
Always fun. Okay. So you're sitting at a con, okay? Sitting at your table. 12-year-old kid walks up to you and says, "I want to make comics." What do you tell him? What advice do you give? What's that one tip that you wish you had that you want to, now that you want to put across to that kid?
Right.
All right. Can I start?
If I could swear at the kid,
I'm just up here. It's like I know what I would say. I know what I have an idea what JD would say.
All right. Well, yeah. If I may, I would. The first thing I would tell him is listen, stay in school. Go into heavy into marketing and research and study global economics and go into stocks. That's what I would say. Yeah. Okay. I live in New York, so the stock market is right down the block. If you ever want to become rich, that's what you do. You go.
Right.
You sell your soul to those people and you hang out with them. But seriously though, if a kid came to me and said, "Look, I want to do comics," the first thing I would tell him as a writer, okay, I would tell him read as much as you can, read everything you can, read read science fiction, read fantasy, read horror, read murder mysteries, read romance. You understand? Read as much as you can. And not just comic books. This is prose, especially prose. Because the thing is comics. We have, I guess our ceiling, right? We hit our ceiling with Alan Moore, Neil Gaiman, and Frank Miller, and there are a few others, right? There's tiers to that. You don't agree with Frank Miller?
No, because again, I still think about.
Are you wrong?
I still think about the evil one, Grant Morrison, over Frank Miller.
Okay, that's fair.
I agree. I have to agree.
That's fair. That's fair. I mean, listen, that's fair. I mean, I don't agree with you, but
yeah,
that's
fair.
fair.
It's a fair debatable.
Right. That's exactly. Because I Grant Morrison's incredible, but yeah, I would, like I said, there's others like Warren Ellis. We could throw in Jeff Lemire. There's a lot of other names. There's Roy Thomas. You could throw in there for a number of things, so on and so forth.
Writers, yeah.
Yeah. But when you get into novels, though, that spectrum really broadens out. When you're talking about Asimov and Heinlein and all these different names, Herbert and Zelazny and Ellison and so on and so forth, that tier just shoots out the roof. So that's why I would tell everyone, just read as much as you can, consume as much as you can, because all that stuff is going to congeal in your head and is going to spill out in some form. And then also, if you have the opportunity, take a writing class, try to learn structure, try to learn the proper way to do things before you break it to do the improper things. But you should know how to do things properly before you start trying to do things improperly. Because if you just start doing things improperly, you're always going to do it improperly, and you probably never get it right. So you got to do a little bit of study. You don't have to go whole hog. because there's some people that spend like 15 years getting an English master's degree and they can't write to save their lives. So yeah, so you should at least go in there, learn something before you break it apart. But,
Right.
All right. So I will cede the floor. I am sorry that I ate up some of your time.
Yeah. So should I go next?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Go, Mr. Joe.
Now, I'm more quite the opposite of JD here, because the very first thing that I would ask that 12-year-old is, are you having fun creating what you're creating now? And the reason I ask it, because if it's not fun for you, don't do it. If you enjoy it and you're just, coming in each and every day doing it, I feel that you would do everything that JD just states. So my thing is, I need to know that kid's motivation. If he's 100% enjoying what he's doing and he's ready to go and take that next step and, got that fire lit up under him, that's when you start introducing him to all of this reading, all of this training for drawing, and all the other stuff here. Mm-hmm. But if it's just an inkling, it's like, hey, I kind of enjoy it. I don't do it every day. I just see, I think I can make money off of it. You kind of, guide him, let him know that it's a lot of work. But those that truly have that passion for it, I'll give them Bristol boards and pencils right there. It's like, come here, let's draw right now. Mm. Let's start your training right now. You're now part of this brotherhood. And you start really talking to them as far as, this is what you need to learn. This is what you need to keep up with. This is what, you might want to read as you go along in creating your own products and everything. Because my thing is, I don't want him to learn how to create Spider-Man 50 different times. I want him to create his own character, his own stories, and teach him what those stories entail and how they work and why they work, and learn how other people do it. Start asking questions of other creators. The same way that they came up to me and asked me, what do I need to do? Ask other people. Shoot, if I had the wherewithal and was in a constant contact with them, I'll bring them in front of Neil Adams and let Neil Adams make him cry. But he learned something from it. But he would learn something from it. That's the major thing. As long as I see that passion, open up that door wide open, kick it down for him, and start introducing him to all the stuff that JD was talking about. But if they show, lackluster interest, it's not worth your time anymore. Just give them what they wanted to hear to encourage them, and see what they do the next time around. If they still have that, if their enthusiasm goes up a level, that's when you start trying to get ready to kick that door down for them.
I have to agree with JD here, man. The first thing I would say is basically what you said, JD, but also tell him, man, youth is on your side, man. Youth is on your side, and get, if he's good enough, even if he's just hand drawing them and giving to his friends, get your stuff out there. Get your stuff out there, and don't be afraid to make those mistakes, because even when you make those mistakes, someone will like it, and you'll learn from your mistakes, I think. Especially if you do, go to people and get more advice and everything. I think, I wish I got my stuff out when I was much younger, 20 years ago or whatever it was, 30 years ago even. And man, yeah, the youth is on that kid's side, on that 12-year-old side, and don't be afraid. Get your stuff out there. Get it out there.
I'm sorry, Eric.
Throw yourself to the world.
Are you a writer or an artist?
A writer.
Okay.
Yeah, creator, writer. I do a little bit of art. I can do I just don't. I'm not quite talented enough to do sequentials, but I could probably do a cover or something like that. But yeah, I'm mostly writer creator.
All right.
And a little lettering to keep it cheaper for myself.
I know exactly what you mean, buddy. I'm right there with you.
Same.
So I have a group, a Facebook group with 700 members and I teach how to draw to a lot of people. I do videos every week, and I've been doing it for 2 years. And people comes with that question, hey, can I do comic books? Can I draw? And I tell them, well, it's a hard business to get into. And I tell them, and if they insist and they want to be in that business, well, I tell them to get a mentor. And obviously that's what they're here in the group, because they already started it on their own, and then they are at a stop, because that was exactly what happened to me. I knew how to draw. I studied all the comic books that I had, but you get to a point where do I go? So what I saw, my mentor is Oscar Gonzalez Loyo. He's a famous guy he recently died, but he's a legend in Mexico. He won an Eisner Award here in the U.S. He was working for Simpsons. He was working in doing Looney Tunes, Warner Brothers, all that big stuff. So he's the one who teach me how to be a professional. So that's what I'm doing in my group, just telling them what they don't know about the business. So that's basically what I tell them, that to find a mentor. It's very difficult to do it over the internet, but if they have one close by, they need to latch to them and be a leech, suck everything you need, and
be a sponge.
A sponge or leech. Well, it's like suck.
Well, yeah. It's much nicer to be a sponge.
Two different iconic animals.
Yeah. I mean, just to add to that, I mean, the other thing for an artist, right? If the kid was an artist, not necessarily a writer, I would suggest to try to get into a school of artists and try to find a like-minded group of artists in real life, like in the meat space, that they can come in contact regularly with, and that they can beat each other up. Because that's the group I grew up with early on with Daphne. That's how I met Daphne, and that's how I met all these other artists. They all went to this one school of art and design. And we were all young, 16, 17 years old. These were the best artists within our community, within New York City. And I mean, it's a big city. And I had 5 or 6 of the best artists from there. And every week we would meet up. Everybody would be drawing, and everybody bring in their piece, and then we would just tear it apart. And then, there would always be a winner, and they would gloat, and then everybody else would go back and try to beat them the next week. And it was incredible to see the growth, the growth in these artists, because nothing will propel you further than wanting to beat your friend, or at least by what I've seen, is you can love them, but that doesn't mean you don't want to, it's a competition. It's a competition. It's funny.
What I do all the time is that that after I explain them something, they tell me like, "Oh, this is the best. This is even the best way to communicate the questions that they have and answers immediate, because that's what I do. Like I go live,
right,
and I answer is a question and answer immediate." And those things you don't have at schools,
right?
I mean, sometimes they do, but that's what they come here. They already know how to draw, but they don't know it from a professional who's been doing it for 20 years. They have a guy who's done it one comic book,
right?
And that's it. He's teaching lessons. So
yeah, depends on the school. Depends on the school you go to.
The school.
So this is the school. Daphne was taught by Will Eisner. So
there you go.
So there you go. So
that's a pedigree. That's good.
Oh yeah. Well, she had classes with Will Eisner. She had classes with Denny O'Neil. Wow. I got to sit in on a semester at Denny O'Neil, so that was a lot of fun. All right, so guys, enough of us, enough of me. Now we're gonna go back to Eric, and we're gonna go back to Ozzy, and I'm gonna pull up your campaigns, and we're gonna just talk about your campaigns. Who wants to go first? I'll let you guys choose between the two of you. All right.
Rochambeau.
All right. Well, Ozzy's pointing at you, so we'll let you go first. Hold on. Sure. Let me pull this up.
Thank you for doing this.
Yeah, I'm not gonna play the video because, of course, I'm a tech lousy person, so I don't know how to get the music to play. for the sound.
No problem.
Hold on, but we can walk through the. We can walk through this. Hold on.
Actually, guys, I can show you. It's probably not going to show up good on my camera, but I do have it in one of those My Lights here. As you see, it's pretty shiny.
Oh yeah,
Pretty clear.
Well, hold on.
I like that.
Save that for the end, because we got, this is your campaign, right?
Yep.
All right, cool.
So Amazing Ice Comics, yeah. So this is basically an anthology, a lot like Marvel Comics Presents back in the 80s, 90s era, and I introduced four new universes, all my four of my best ideas, and yeah. And there's just a little spiel right there. I do VT Comics Live, where I sell comics with my pops, and now we're doing this. And that's the cover A by Victor Coppola, and we have Grove on top, the space wizard with the space station Yield wine port that he owns. Joan of Arc in the middle there, and she's got a zombie head, so she's fighting the undead. And we have Nightcry on the left there, and a couple characters from Void Reaper, which is the ship in the lower left on the cover. And here I just I do a little spiel about each of the stories. And Joan of the Arc versus the Undead. It's where the Black Plague mutates. Joan of Arc actually lived in real life about 75, 85 years after the Black Plague left in actuality. And it mutates in our story. And Joan is called upon God to save the world from, at least Europe, from the zombie apocalypse. But it's very political as well, because the King of France that she put on the throne in real life actually sentenced her to death, basically, as well. So she has to deal with that. And what I use is historical people that she fought alongside with, which I did a lot of research for this story. A lot of these cats are really got their own crazy stories. And I also take her real life executioner, who was he actually signed the book where Joan of Arc was burned at the stake, and his name is, and I can't speak French, but and I'm taking some liberties here, and Joan does as well in the story. His name is spelled The Rage, Therage. So Joan calls him the Rage. She gets him to fight alongside him against the zombies and take some liberties, and calls him the Rage of God. So he fights alongside with her, and then we have Nightcry, which it's not the Dark Knight, but he looks a little bit like it, I know, but he's completely opposite. He's not a loner. He's a family man. He's got a wife and 2 kids. He's not a detective, but he's one of the world's most brilliant psychologists. And the rehabilitation of supervillains is one of his main goals. So this could lead to his ultimate destruction. And also, he has strips of cape. So he doesn't have a utility belt, but he has like a utility smart cape. And each of these strips of cape has like a different ability. Like one can help him turn invisible. One can have his drones. One can have ice power. One could have electrical power. All these different things. So these strips of a cape, I think, make a cool look, which you'll see a little lower down. And Void Reaper is another story, and it's basically Void Reaper is a lot like Star Wars mixed with Never Ending Story and what's the other one? Never Ending Story and The Dark Crystal. And basically it's about a couple and their family and trying to save their universe from this void that's happening. And their ship, the Reaper, they're kind of like smugglers, and their ship, the Reaper, is transformed into a ship that can enter the void and come back, and we experience what that's like. In Wine, we have the most popular destination in the known universe, and basically it's like Star Trek meets Dungeons and Dragons, Game of Thrones, Lord of the Rings type thing, with a little bit of Mafia, Godfather, Peaky Blinders built into it as well. So that's one of the most episodic type ones, and he owns a huge space destination. and is known for potions of wine and everything. So those are the 4 stories. As quickly as I can go through them. This is the Nightcry variant cover by Richard Farrar of Geek Fine Art, and that's our main variant cover that we have, and you can see the strips of cape there, kind of.
No, that's really cool.
That's nice.
Thanks.
Yeah.
And just some explanations of different things here. Like I said, those are just the different tiers you can get, perks that you can get.
Cool.
And
now, what do you find is the most popular perk?
So far, the Amazingizer pack, which includes issue 1, the Nightcry variant, it includes what I'm calling Amazingize number 00, which includes the initial stories for each of them except Joan of Arc. And it also comes with a pin and 5 prints, and that's for $40. And then what I'm trying to do, and I know you see Pops VT. That's my Pops that is pretty popular, kind of popular on my VT Comics live show where we sell comic books. And my Pops, he's written for Rolling Stone magazine. He's a published poet, so he's doing these one-of-a-kind Amazingize blank covers where he writes a poem in Grove the Space Wizard's perspective, who has lived thousands of years. So we've got one of those sold, but that's limited to only 40 unique ones, 40 unique poems.
Gotcha.
And then we have Dave Farrar, who did the Nightcry variant, do a sketch cover as well for you for $35 as an add-on. And there's my Gemini mailers, Ozzy.
There you go.
And there's my team down there: Gabriel Bomfim, Dave Farrar, Victor Lighty, Orcapola, Roel Roque, and myself.
Cool.
And here's a little bit of my timeline. Fulfilling no later than November, hopefully October. The surprise project was Moonchild. I just got the rights of it last weekend. I got the agreement from the owner of the property to put it under the Amazingize umbrella. So that will be the surprise project. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take the most popular story of Amazingize and go further with it. That's the next plan. And then I got a couple other things down the line as well for next year.
All right, cool. Nice.
So I want to have a plan there. And then there's just some stuff about the characters.
Nice.
And
now, obviously you've been planning this for a while, because you got 4 stories. How long have you been working on each story? Or how long has this process been? I know you said you've been working on it for years.
Yeah. So Nightcry, I drew I wanted a Spawn/Batman type character. I was just looking for different looks, and I drew the strips of cape, and I just thought it was really cool. And I was 18, right? I'm almost 50 now, and so his story is developed. At first it was just a look, and then I was just well, let's make him a psychologist. Let's make him a family man. Let's do this. Let's do that. Create a rogues gallery. All these different things. For Joan of Arc versus the Undead, I came up with this idea kind of a few years ago, probably about 5-6 years ago, where I never would attempt a zombie book, probably because, Walking Dead is, can't really, in my opinion, can't really beat that as far as comic books is concerned. And but I was like, you know what? Let's take a real life person, and who better than someone who's called upon God to fight, the zombies. So there she is with her zombie head on her belt there to prove, and she goes to villages. They might not believe in the zombie apocalypse, so she has to have proof with her. So that's a live zombie there with her. And then wine is a fairly new idea I had about 2-3 years ago, and it just really developed from a Star Trek perspective, mostly Next Generation. Because when I was a kid, I hated the old Star Trek, even though I like it now. But I love Next Generation, and it's kind of like that. But like I said, mixed with Dungeons and Dragons, medieval fantasy as well. And the whole Indiegogo crowdfunding campaign, I wanted to do it much earlier, but I'm a little bit anal, so like the planning was like I was very specific. It's very specific and probably too specific and trying to do too much the first time around. But and then some stuff happened during COVID where it was tough, and I had a issue with a printer at one point that fell through and stuff like that. So I wanted to have all my ducks in place. I wanted to have the printer in place. I wanted to be comfortable all along the way for the first campaign. So yeah.
Cool. Let me do this. All right, so I'm gonna pull this down. Do me a favor, show that Mylar thing again.
Oh yeah.
Pull you up so you can show that.
My camera's not the best, but yeah, it's not gonna look super fancy with this camera, but that's a Mylight, and this is just a black and white version of the cover. But there's a hardback. There's a it's called a full back backing board, and what I recommend if you want to go this route is get the Mylights, and then get a full back, and then put even just a backing board back here just to make it stiffer and more solid. But unfortunately, this camera doesn't do it justice. But when you get the right picture, and especially in person, when you see it, it's like, ooh, this is better than this. This is a quality comic book instead of just like a bag and board and it's shuffling around in there or whatever, you know. So
that's a good idea.
Yeah.
But it is expensive, so you do want to, you know, do an add-on for like $1 or $2.
Yeah.
Depending what you get them at. Because it can be expensive. They're kind of hard to get to. You can only really get them from, and they have like an archaic website. It's kind of funny, but yeah, it's kind of weird getting them. Yeah, it's like a '90s website, but they are called Mylights. I think it's Mylite, and that's a Mylight 2.
All right, cool.
And I actually might add that to my campaign. I'm thinking about doing that actually.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you can put it on as an add-on for an extra $2 or $3 per one. I mean, why not?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's cool. There's Ozzy. Go for it, Ozzy.
All right. So we got the rights for The Sword and the Sorcerer, the movie.
Man,
you got the biz on this? Dang, dude.
Yeah.
Oh yes, we do.
Damn.
The main attraction. Well, there's 3 attractions. 3 of the main attractions is the name of the movie. Obviously, it's a sequel of the movie. It happens 2 weeks after the ending of the movie. We have the director doing signing some cards. Also, he's involved in the project, and the main attraction for me is Simon Beasley. He's always been one of the main. Now is
main man.
The main man. Well, I was gonna say that my favorite, but it's really not. I mean, Alex Rose is my favorite, but he's right behind, which is nothing bad to say.
There's nothing to sneeze at.
Yeah. So yeah, we are at 60%, and so basically, like I said, it happens 2 weeks after the ending of the movie. There is a new evil coming, and he's been resurrected. We have really, really affordable comic books. It's I check every campaign, every campaign, Indiegogos and Kickstarters, and this is one of the most affordable campaigns you'll ever seen.
I have to agree, because $5 for a book is pretty inexpensive.
Right.
Let me. Are you adding anything for shipping?
Yes, there's shipping too.
Good. Okay, no, that's good. That's good, because I mean, you know, everybody should pay because it's already inexpensive.
This is not the free shipping.
Are you shipping from Mexico?
No. I'm in Colorado. I live in Colorado.
Oh, Colorado. Okay, I thought you said you were in Mexico. I'm sorry.
No, I'm Mexican.
Oh, okay.
So yeah. So we have three covers. The main cover is the Beasley cover. Is going to be painted. hand painted. The second cover is the sketch cover, and the third cover is my cover. It's going to be also in digital colors. And we have a bundle. If you buy the 3 covers, it's going to be $20, which is unheard of. 3 comics for
Good price.
$20.
Yeah.
So, like I said, this is just to keep building fans, building customers. We want them happy. We want them to come back, and we're going to do the same for the next one. And we're going to give them more and more and more. We have T-shirts. That T-shirt is awesome. We might add another one that is going to be the cover. We still don't have the cover, the actual cover, because obviously the guy is so busy.
Mm-hmm.
But he showed us some stuff, and it's amazing. So we're just waiting for him. Or
what size shirts do you go to? Because I'm literally like, I'm about to pull the trigger.
Yeah, do it. We have all kinds, from super small to triple XL, or triple XL. Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome.
So you can pick
pull that trigger.
anything. Yeah, do it. Or my partner is Jeremy Fraser. If you can scroll up the other way. There you go. That's he lives in China, unfortunately. he can't help me much. We have Joe Severin is the co-writer. He's a really amazing writer. I haven't seen many. I mean, I've seen many great writers, but he's one of them. We do commissions by me. We do. We either do blank covers too, like. Let me get it out. This is an example of it, and I'm not gonna do like quick sketches or anything. This is how I do my covers.
Okay, cool. So you do front and back.
Yeah, and I always give extra, same as these ones, you know. In color, we can do, if you pick a black and white or color, it's a different price, obviously. So these are examples of it.
I don't want to know what's going on below that cover of Lando, though, Ozzy. I don't want to know what's going on below that cover of Lando.
Oh yeah, the Lando. Right. You don't want to know.
No.
So yeah, we're trying to give extra stuff to all the backers and do also we're doing sketches in boards, this kind of boards. Which they're not they're thick boards. They're not paper. So this
show
is,
that again.
Sorry, it's not.
Oh yeah.
It's like an art.
Yeah.
This is a framing board.
Mm-hmm.
It's really good for sketching.
Okay, cool.
And we're using that for the sketches. Also, if you want to be on the comic book, you can also put your face in it. We're saving space for to put your face in the comic book. If you're a really fan, and we already sold a couple. It's only $60, and I've seen other comic books. They're selling that space for like $150. $100. Yeah, so this is you can be immortalized in the comic book. Also, the director has done a 12 signed cards of the Sword and the Sorcerer, which they're very unique. And unfortunately, he is sick. He's these are gonna become like a collector's edition pretty soon. Like also we have original pages, really cheap also. Only pencils, because as soon as I finish the pencils, I translate them into I scan them and I ink them on digitally. So we have only pencils, and we have the bundle of Beasley and the director Albert Puing. For this is the cheapest I ever seen for a sketch of Simon Beasley.
Oh, okay.
Normally he goes for like 250 per sketch, so we're doing something like really cheap.
Yeah.
So, and not only that, you get the book and you get something else. I can't remember what it is.
I think I see a T-shirt.
A print. You get a print. You get the sketch. You get the signature of the director, and that's it, I think.
Cool.
And yeah, if you see the artwork is some of my. I put a lot of effort on it, and I think it's some of my best work. I spent so much time doing them, and so much love too, because I love this movie. I love this this genre. Well, sort of. The genre is not. I don't like it that much. I don't like Thor, but I like Conan.
Okay.
And yeah, buy it.
Yeah, man. This is I remember I've been talking to you about this for like 9 months now. And I remember when you first told me, I was like, yeah, really? I was like, whoa, where did you get that from? And I mean, like, yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. I think I backed it. I don't even know what level I backed at. I would hope I got that triple pack. I don't know.
I think you did. Yeah. I can't remember either. But.
Yeah. But yeah. Hopefully, if I didn't, I'll upgrade or whatever.
But anyway, even if it's not fulfilled completely, we already have the money. We already paid everything up. It's gonna be printed anyway. Where we make our money is obviously on stores and conventions. So yeah, it's gonna be that, and it's gonna be also 6 more issues. And we're gonna have many good stuff. Like I said before, we're gonna get replicas of the sword in small, and hopefully we can get a big one. And we're gonna get different T-shirts, different covers. I don't know if we're gonna go with the same artist. I don't know if he's available, but we might get someone else.
Gotcha.
We don't know.
Listen, you got Simon Bisley.
Yeah.
So.
I wish I can get Alex Rose for the next one.
Oh. Can I ask a question here?
Yeah.
You said you guys got the rights to the Sword and Stone.
No, the Sword and the Sorcerer. That's a Disney movie.
What's that?
That's a Disney movie.
Oh, okay.
Sword and Stone, yeah, they don't want to get Sword and Stone.
That's right, Sword and Stone, yeah. Sword and the Sorcerer. How did you go? Like, were you part of that process? How did you guys go about getting like the rights for that and getting Beasley the biz?
Yeah. Well, it's all about money. No, I'm just kidding. Well, no. Basically, my partner talked to the director, and he agreed to give. He actually did. My partner did an anthology with another of his movies. It was called Mean Guns.
Gotcha.
The movie with Ice-T, and then he did an anthology. He sold it, and then he's like, "What else do you have?" Like, well, this is the main movie that he's done. Actually, his most successful movie. So he gave the rights. Sold the rights.
Yeah.
and I proposed to get a nice cover artist, and like I said, is I don't think I can afford Alex Rose, but well, I can afford him either, but. Well, we talk about we did some negotiations, and we talk about bundling all the things that we're getting, like the sketches and signatures and all that stuff, and we come to an agreement. And not only that, he went easy on us because he loves the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So
Listen,
we got lucky, I guess.
Yeah, I'm looking at this cover, and I just on, the guy with the sword, the sorcerer on the top, and this chick's butt.
Yeah,
I'm sold, man.
Sold.
Between those three, just those three items, I was like, that's awesome.
I'm not going to get too crazy here, but she's definitely not the new Tila.
No, not at all.
Yeah, no, and actually, this is the second version he did. He did another cover, which is almost the same exact thing, but he's such a professional. He's like, well, I didn't like that. He added a little more elements, but he created again the whole thing. It's so professional of him to do that.
Yeah, no, it's really awesome.
When is this going to be fulfilled? I'm sorry, JD.
No, go ahead.
When is this going to be fulfilled? Because I think Biz is coming to a local con soon, and I would like to get that and get it signed by him.
Probably next year, because we're still doing the next Kickstarter, and it's going to take at least 2.5 months.
Okay.
So it takes a little while for printers to bring, just with COVID and all the new stuff that's coming. Sure. So maybe by December, I'm not sure. You can never tell with these times. It's just, I'm still waiting for the printer. Like the printer is delayed for 2 months for my other Kickstarter. So it's not my fault. But
gotcha. Right. Well, listen, after the show, we can talk about printers. You can let me know who you're using. Maybe I can suggest somebody different.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah.
No, that's really awesome. Look, man, I saw that movie in the theater. Yes, I'm that old. And I have it on CD, and it breaks my heart when I see it on Amazon Prime, and it's a laugh track thing. Right? Yep. And I'm like, that movie is incredible. It's an awesome movie. It does not need to be goofed on.
It's free on YouTube, actually. I found it.
Oh, yeah? Yeah. That's funny. Well, there's probably somebody illegally uploaded it.
Yeah, probably.
Copyright strike.
Someone was asking about why there is no a nice copy on. But the problem is that the director is sick. And he's really not.
Yeah, he's ill. There's nothing that can really be done about it.
And it takes a lot of money to create those movies too. Like to do a what's it called, the Blu-ray,
like a remaster.
Blu-ray, yeah, a remastering.
Yeah, because like I said, I have a DVD. I have a CD of it. I've yet to get a DVD of it. I've yet to get a Blu-ray. So
yeah. There's tons of copies of the DVDs, but Blu-rays, there's none.
Yeah,
you should reach out to the fan community and see if maybe they can put one together. Because people do that all the time with all the movies.
There's entire groups. There is entire groups just for this movie. So
yeah, man.
Yeah.
You gotta reach those guys, get them in there, get them to buy a book, get them to buy dozens of books.
Yeah. And kudos on getting the license. I've actually tried to get the license to 2 different properties before. And was only successful once because of the hoops we had to jump through, and it was crazy.
Yeah, a lot of people ask me the same question, and sometimes you just have to ask nicely, and that's it.
Listen, man. Sometimes it works like that, but also you dealt with an individual. You didn't deal with a corporation.
The rights reverted to him after a while. This movie's been out for 30 years. or
Yeah.
4 years actually. So, and they went back to the director. So, and then the director is an amazing person, like a super nice guy.
No,
And,
that's
and unfortunately, we have to deal with the wife too because he's unavailable because of his sickness.
right.
And yeah, and we just and she was very open to everything. And so is Beasley. Beasley, you might think that he's a like a superstar, like with an attitude, but he's not. He's a super nice guy.
No, that's cool. That's cool.
It's the same question,
Right.
same thing. You just have to ask nicely. Hey, what else can they say? They can
Well,
say
that's
no.
true. Right. I'm too busy.
Maybe I'm gonna try that with Alex Rose.
There you go. I mean, listen, you never know, man. He might have that cover already painted, right?
Maybe.
And it's just in his closet because he just painted it for himself, and you might just have to buy the rights to reprint it. You never know.
What if he loves the movie that much?
Right. Exactly. So you never know.
Beasley, he gave us a huge discount just because he's a big fan of the movie.
No, that's awesome. So Joe, you have a question for Eric or Ozzy?
Not really, because I'm up here more intrigued by the actual campaigns themselves, and actually they kind of answered my question about fulfillment. One said a year from now, and the other one is a couple of months. I'm like, that's pretty cool here, in the long run, this schema, because I'm the type of person that I love my stuff in print. Some people love digital and they don't mind that type of wait, but if I know that I have to wait more than a year or at least a year's worth of time, it has to be like the greatest thing since Wonder Bread for me to wait that long.
Right. No, I got you.
I'm at the same. Yeah.
That's one of the to go back to I think it was JD's question, like in the next 4 months, concentration is definitely going to be fulfillment because the few backers that we have, man, I want them to be 1,000% happy, man. I want them to get a nice package. Fulfillment's going to be key for us next 4 months because those are your first fans, kind of, for a first campaign anyway.
Damion, you got any questions for them?
The only other question I had was the other question of the two was give me your pitch, but you already did that rather well. You've got my money. So
there you go.
Thank you, Damion.
There you go.
That's why I was looking down and clicking my mouse as you were talking. I was listening. I was like, let me pull these out. Oh, these are good. All right, let's do this.
So I got a question for you guys. Why Indiegogo? Well, Ozzy kind of already answered, so this is really for Eric. Why Indiegogo and not Kickstarter? What made you choose one platform over the other?
It was kind of, I went to both platforms and I was like, which one do I want to try? Number one, which one do I like? I come from a tech background, but that was before, that was like, I was on a Y2K team in desktop support. So that's how far back I go.
Right.
So now, like, I'm pretty good at all this stuff, but like Indiegogo seemed like I understood it better for some reason. I think when I first looked into it also, I don't think Kickstarter had the video on top of the page. I think they do now. I'm not sure how long they've had it up there, but I think when I first looked into Kickstarter for this, they didn't even have the video, so that was a key part of it. And it just Indiegogo, and also I heard that Indiegogo like allows a flexible goal, right?
Yeah.
And also I think you get a little bit more of your money from Indiegogo rather than Kickstarter, at least when I first looked into it. So it was kind of a natural thing for me, and I thought, and I just went on there, and it was like, it spoke to me, and it seemed like a good platform. I understand Kickstarter might get more views, but that's why I went with Indiegogo.
Okay, that's fair enough. I mean, I might have to start sending an invoice to Kickstarter because I'm gonna advocate for them right now. So I would always suggest doing both. Right? I would suggest doing Kickstarter because you're already going to do Indiegogo, you're going to have their money. Now the big difference between the two platforms, if you don't meet your goal, On Kickstarter, you're not going to get anything, but you can do a goal of $1 on Kickstarter. Okay, so that's you can do that smaller goal, whereas on Indiegogo you have to set it at 500.
Wait. Sometimes they don't allow you to do that.
No. I've had issues with them as well with that, because I had a conversation with one of the agents, and they were like, the reason they don't like the dollar thing is because they think you're putting on like a goof campaign or something.
Right.
And I told them, I said, listen, I do it to assure whoever's backing that campaign is going to go out.
Right.
That even if I just get 2 backers, $30 or whatever, it's getting fulfilled. You understand? So I went through that. What I started doing is that I put it in for at least like $250 or $100. You can put it in for $100. Put it $50. $100 is very reasonable. If you can't make $100, I mean, that's a real problem. You're not pitching enough. You're not doing enough.
Well, right now, they don't allow me to do. My minimum is 500
for Kickstarter.
Yep.
Really?
Wow,
Oh, that's weird.
News to me.
Do I need to talk to someone on the phone or what?
I guess. Well, you're not going to call, but you got to send them an email, see what's going on with that.
I think I might be wrong, but I thought that was Indiegogo. I thought I saw something with the minimum on Indiegogo was 500.
Both like that.
Yeah.
Oh, both?
Yeah, IGG.
Well,
IGG. I know it's 500.
Well, one of them goes lower, but they're both about the same. Yeah.
That is news to me. Let me go out and check that right.
Yeah. On the next one,
brother.
It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be that different.
So I have seen a lot of discussion regarding whether people should use both Kickstarter and Indiegogo or just one or the other. And I see no negative factor to using both, right?
No, because the thing is different. They're different communities. They tend to be different communities, right?
They're different payment too.
Right, but you have different people who like to buy from Indiegogo.
Right.
That like from a different group who like to buy on Kickstarter. So what you're trying to do is tap into both. Get as much as you can out of one, and as much as you can out of the other. It's just like comic books as opposed to trade paperbacks.
Now, Ozzy mentioned doing the Kickstarter. Now, if I was going to do it, I would fulfill this Indiegogo and then run my Kickstarter.
Right.
Is that what you guys recommend if you do both?
Well, I'm doing it one after another so I can have more money, and then I know at the time I am already finished with the book, I go to the printers and I just fulfill both at the same time. So you don't. I don't know.
Yeah. The only thing I would do, I don't know if Ozzy could do this, but I know what I've done in the past is if I'm doing IGG, I would do it second. I'd usually do my Kickstarters first, then IGG, but I started at Kickstarter. That's why. And then what I do is I try to get like an alternative cover on IGG.
Yeah.
So then that way they have something different. So I would suggest maybe the same thing. If you can get another cover for your book, put another cover on it. You still have all your other covers. Just say this one is going to be special to Kickstarter, and then you could always just turn around and just put it as an add-on on IGG. On the
we're gonna do that, and now that you give me the idea, and we're gonna add another T-shirt.
I can still do a $1 campaign out here on Kickstarter. I can still do, and I'm looking at it. I'm in the process of creating one, and it still gives me that option. So I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. So Ozzy, they might not like you, so you got to talk to them. Say, listen. Just let them know.
It's another algorithm thing, right?
Exactly. So just let them know. So it says, listen, I'm lovable, I'm affable, Let me do it for $1.
Well, my best way I can, the strategy I wanted first is just to go first with the Kickstarter. But I didn't want to do 2 Kickstarters at the same time. Right. That's why I went to Indiegogo. But the right strategy is to go Kickstarter first and then Indiegogo.
Yeah. But to be honest, it doesn't once if you can reach your goal, right, whatever it is, because then it'll go into in demand, right? So while it's in demand, you could do a Kickstarter, and you can still be funneling people into in demand and doing a Kickstarter at the same time. So I think that kind of works. But
yeah, Kickstarter doesn't have any type of in-demand service. Is that correct?
No.
Not yet. Not as right now. I always get surveys from them, and they're like, "Oh, what do you want to see us add?" You know what I'm saying? That's always one of the things that I click on is like, a store.
Yep.
An aftermarket store, and for them to put the little pictures with the
add-ons.
Yeah. Well, the add-on picture, but also just with the level. So they have a little picture with the level. That's a big thing. That's one of the things I really like about Indiegogo. You put the little picture.
Yeah, I spent too much time trying to make those little pictures.
I tend to make one or two and use them just.
Yeah.
Just use them like that. I don't. Yeah. If you're gonna make them individually, that'd probably drive you nuts. So, all right, cool. I'll open up the floor. Does anybody have any questions they want to ask, want answered, explore?
Yeah. How about your Indiegogo, or what do you have right now? Kickstarter.
I got a Kickstarter running for Tall Tales.
What is it on
this
right
one.
now?
Right there. That's the book.
That's the book.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
How much you go for it?
$20 plus $5 shipping. So it's 124 pages. It's
I meant on the Kickstarter, but that's good information too.
Yeah. But it's
how much are you trying to raise?
we set it at 750. We're about 1,800 now. So
Nice.
so we're doing okay with it. The thing is, Daphne and I, we're working as a team. My last Oswald, I don't know, I think I made 4,300, right? Which was cool. But it's just, for us, it's just a constant thing of just trying to grow. Now we're trying to get to, she made it to 4,100 with her last game. I made it to 42, 43. Now we're trying to make it to 45. And then we're going to try to make it to 5.
Right.
And it's one of those things. You just constantly got to try to push it up just a little bit at a time. I mean, for myself, it's important because I'm pretty sure, Eric, you feel this, and I know Joe does. We're funding our artists. We're not just funding for ourselves. I don't take any money out of my campaigns. I'm lucky. Maybe I'll buy myself a slice of pizza out of my campaign, right? I'll get 3. I'll have a profit of 2,500, 3,000, whatever it is. All that stuff goes back to the artists. I use it all to just make more content.
This goes back to the artists. My stuff goes back to shows and stuff, paying for shows and everything.
Right.
To put the stuff on the road.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No,
Are you still having those cards?
Huh?
Are you still having those cards, the nice cards that you were showing me the other day?
Hold on, let me show you what I got.
Stuff for that book?
No,
See,
I do both. I do the cons and I got to pay a writer, so I do both.
Us writers are cheap.
Speak for yourself, sir. Speak for yourself. I'm real expensive.
Yeah.
Eric, we need to talk after the show.
Like I said, I do it for the love of the game sometimes, man.
I'm the same way.
What else? I got a bunch of stuff that like I said, I gave away this thing. It's like a little acrylic pen.
Nice.
That was for the last campaign. That was for the last campaign. That thing. This is a coaster, which I find to be hilarious.
Very nice.
I just had Pogs made. Made Pogs.
Pogs, yes.
Oh yeah, Pogs. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, the ugly 50. Because I'm like, it's Pogs. I'm not gonna make that many. But
yeah.
I got them for a good price.
No, that's good. That's the thing. I mean, you get the stuff at a decent price.
You just gave me an idea. For my Space Wizard, I should come up with a Magic the Gathering type replica type card. That might be kind of cool.
Easy to do. That's easy
to do
digitally. It's easy to do digitally. Just getting printed is the hard part.
Yeah.
Depend. If you after the show, we can talk. I can help. I might be able to help you out.
I mean, you can grab templates off of the web. It's just that's the easy part to do it digitally. It's just the printing.
Yeah,
might do it reasonably.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I have. I used to go to something called Boston Anime, and there was a guy there. He had his own company, had his own game system, and for like $25 you could join in, right? And it was an artist alley, and it would be like 30 or 40 of us would join in. We get a stack, like 500 cards that he would give us, and we would sell. I would sell the cards for like a quarter, right? And then people would go around collecting all the cards from all the artists. So it was pretty cool because it got people to travel around from table to table because they're trying to collect all the cards to play the game. So that was actually pretty cool. If you could set up something like that at a show, that's always awesome. So all right, gentlemen, we're pretty much at that 2-hour mark, so we're gonna wrap it up here and now. So without further ado, let's start with Mr. Ozzy. Please let us know where they can find you and your work, sir.
Well, you can find me on Indiegogo, trying to sell that book. You can Google my name. I'm on every single social network under Ozzy Longoria or Gemini Comics. I don't have a website yet, but I'm planning to get one next year.
Cool.
Buy my comic, and buy his comic, Eric's comic too.
Mm-hmm.
And thank you for having me.
All right, cool. And listen, anytime, Ozzy, you know you're always welcome. And listen, Sword and the Sorcerer, awesome movie. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. But more importantly, go get this comic. It's gonna be an awesome book. And I think the T-shirts look awesome. I mean, Ozzy, listen, just stop. You're gonna make me spend more money. Anyway, Eric, where can they find you or your work?
Thanks, JD. Thank you, Ozzy, as well, and Joe and Damion. Appreciate it. Amazing Eyes Comics on Indiegogo. Amazing Eyes Comics on Facebook primarily. Like, I'm mostly on Facebook. And Eric Von Tersch, that's VON space TERSCH. Eric Von Tersch on Facebook, and VT Live Comics if you want to buy. I do have indie comics for sale on my live sales as well. Plenty of that stuff. And we had it was a great time being on the show. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you for coming. One day I gotta get you on to do one-on-one. Now, how many days left in your campaign? That's something I didn't check.
I'm going through Labor Day weekend. So about, I think,
about 3 weeks.
Mine has
2.5, I think.
8 days.
Yeah, let's see. I have 24 days left.
Okay. You got 24. And Ozzy, how many you have?
8 days left.
8 days. Okay. So
I'm confident we're gonna make it.
Yeah,
There's always a boost at the end.
Mm-hmm. Jump on it. Jump on
on
both of them.
No, yeah, well, I'm definitely gonna check out your campaign, Ozzy. I definitely want to get something there, man.
Thanks,
that looks badass, dude.
I'll check yours too.
Thank you, appreciate it, and
Cool.
Very cool.
Where can they find you and your work, sir?
RUOmniversal.com. You can find Day One Comics. I've also started doing music, so Bit Brew Music is on there, and Toys. So if you need any music for anything, let me know.
What kind?
What kind? I do mostly electronic.
Nice.
There's some tracks on there if you want to check it out.
My favorite.
Nice. All right, cool. I gotta check that out. Are you going to be offered, like, can people license the music for you? Because here's the thing, right? We all do videos for our stuff, and there's always a pain in the ass. Huh?
If you want, people hire me. I'll make you a song. It's your song. I even go so far as to delete all the files. So once you have it, you're the only one that has that file.
Wow.
Okay, cool.
Okay, cool.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm always wanting. I always want like some butt rock metal on my campaign. I was like, amazing, nice, yeah. I won't do the vocals though.
There you go.
I'll do the vocals. I'll do the music.
There you go.
There you go.
Yep. All right, Joe, where can they find you and your work, brother?
Okay, they can find all of our work here at exigencystudios.com. That is XIGENCY studios.com. You can find me every Saturday at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time on From the Desk of a Small Press Publisher, who's, I think this upcoming week, we're going to have Glenn B. filming back, talking about the Jack Kirby film that he did. He's about to re-release it again with all new extras and everything, as well as the remaster of his prose novel from his visit. It's going to be worthwhile watch here, and you could check out all my wares out on Comixology, the company website, and like I said, be prepared for the role-playing game that should be out soon.
All right, cool.
I'd like
By
to
the
hear a
way,
little bit more about
wait,
the
I like
RPG.
Oh, the RPG, it's a pro wrestling RPG that
Oh, wrestling, nice.
Yeah, that I work with Nicholas Tockert with is going to be on his +2 engine system. So
nice.
pretty much, is the only thing that you need is 1d20.
Nice.
Okay.
All right, cool.
Hey Joe, I like the character behind you. It's got a
That's
interesting.
Amazonia. That's Amazonia. That's Elisa Masters, who is the main character behind me. That's actually one of my convention posters that's behind me.
Nice.
I like two things about it.
Yeah.
So do I. Well, I can say I like 3 things about it. She has a very pretty face.
Yes.
Yeah, she does.
She's very
That's what
pretty.
attracts me. Those 2 things.
There you
I'm
go.
sorry, I'm just a dog. What can I say?
No, that's fine. It's like whatever floats people's boat. That's pretty much what it is.
Right.
I don't get upset. I don't get upset about
That's
it.
why Ozzy's going to Instagram for his girl.
That's right. Yeah, that's true. All right, cool. So thank you everybody for coming in. My name is JD Calderon. I'm a writer and creator of the Oswald Chronicles and Tall Tales Online. Please go check out Tall Tales currently on Kickstarter. The link is in the show notes. Also, there are links in the show notes for Eric's campaign, Ozzy's campaign. There's a link for Joe and Damion. So you can find all that stuff in the show notes down below. So please go check everybody out. You know, find us on Facebook, find us on Twitter, reach out, get these books. Because listen, I mean, we're independent creators. We need help. You understand? That's what it is. I'm not making Batman. You know, Eric's not making Batman. We don't have Batman and Spider-Man to feed off of. We're not feeding off of dead men's dreams. We're feeding off of our dreams and the stuff we're creating today. So please come out, help us, join the community, and be part of it, man. Just help out. So thank you so much. You know, that's the end of my soapbox. All right, guys. Have a good night.
All right. See you later, guys.